Steve, I want to start with you, and I want you to name off some of your favorite Easter eggs from this episode because there is a shit ton, bro.
Uh, uh, Favorite Easter egg number one is Thor Frog or Throg or whatever. That was my favorite one because I heard it in the first time I watched it. I heard it, but it kind of went kind of quickly, so I didn't know what it was. So then on a rewatch, I was waiting for that scene. And I was like, "Oh shoot, it's the Thor Frog!" And I thought that was definitely it's a callback to Thor when he was like strapped in that little small glass space inside of a Thor Ragnarok, and then it's like spinning around and the hammer's moving around. He makes those same exact noises as Thor Frog inside of the glass, and I was all like, "Oh shoot, that's cool."
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously the Thanos copter, but you guys pointed that one out to me, so I didn't technically catch that one. Um, I think I don't know if this is an Easter egg or if it's just me really sticking with this. There's multiple Mobiuses. Mobius doesn't remember ever seeing an alligator come through the TVA, but he's the overseer kind of all of the people that come through the TVA. So would that mean that maybe another Mobius saw him come through? So I thought that was kind of an Easter egg for it as well.
Potentially, man. We know there's another analyst.
What
Yeah,
what I'm shocked about is that Sylvie never enchanted him. Like we never got his mind to be fully free. So I'm curious to know why that never happened, why Mobius or why Sylvie never chose to do it. Even though we
Mobius too
know
good for that.
I
Mobius
mean,
too smart for that. He don't need it.
Yeah,
don't
he
need
does.
it.
He doesn't need to be convinced. He already.
no, he doesn't. But like, I would have liked for him to see his past, like us audience, like for him to really like, wait, is he a clone? Because we know from the comics that he's a clone. There's other clones of him, but I just want to know. But MCU, the writers and directors probably were like, wait, let's not show them this yet. Let's show them maybe next episode or probably in the future that maybe he's a clone. But like, I would have liked a bit more information. Like, damn it, they were smart to not show us that little enchantment on him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Steve, were there any other Easter eggs that you wanted to talk about?
No. That's pretty much it for me. I didn't catch as many Easter eggs as maybe you guys did. Or maybe I'm missing them a lot of them, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I'm about to find out about them and about to watch the episode
Oh
when
yeah.
this goes off, man.
I'm gonna go last because I want to see what you guys are gonna bring up, and then I'm gonna bring up all of the ones that you don't bring up. So, Abe, you're up next. Like, what were
All
some of
right.
your favorite Easter eggs from this episode?
I'm not even sure if this really counts as an Easter egg, but ALawal clearly was my favorite Easter egg, and then of course President Loki. But the one that look, I don't know if everybody noticed this. I think by now, but we saw what looked to be the Avengers Tower in the background, but there wasn't a giant A. Instead, it said
Or Stark.
Q. No, it didn't. It wasn't an A or a Stark. It said QENG. You might be like, how do you pronounce that, Ed? Oh, maybe something like Kang.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's like the funny thing about this whole series for me, and this is why this is one of my favorite Easter eggs, is that every reference that we've gotten towards Kang has been like to a different version of him, to a different iteration of him. Kang Enterprise, owner of that building, that's when he went by Mr. Griffin. We have the idea of Kang the Conqueror, the main iteration. We also have rumors that might include Immortus, or even Immortus might be involved with the TVA. It's like, and then of course there's rumors about Iron Lad, another version of Kang. It's like, damn, they really setting it up to have to introduce storylines that include all the iterations, because he has such a deep and rich history in the comics. And when I saw that tower, I was like, yeah, we probably gonna get Kang next episode. We should at least see him for like 20 seconds, maybe in the after credit scene. But we gotta get Kang. That was for me. Those were my faves.
Vash?
One of my favorites is that for people that don't know your history, that ship that landed on in one of I found up alive, that ship. I forgot what it called, but back then people did experiments. Our government was trying to do some type of
the
some type of
USS
cloaking.
Eldridge.
Thank you. I just figured I wrote it down. But our government was trying to do some use cloaking. And I love how MCU threw jabs or jokes on it where they try to do the cloaking. So for some people, they thought it worked. They disappear, I think, for a couple of minutes, but they felt like they time travel. Some weird type of things that's been going on in the history. And I love how in Loki, the reason they actually disappear is because they teleported into the void and then they got eaten by alive. So I just love that little Easter egg. That was funny for me. Throgford, that is freaking awesome. Like to see it from the cartoons from Marvel Avengers, to see it from the comics, not to see in live action. I hope he comes out because I would love to actually see Chris Hemsworth actually voice Frog Thor. So like that would be amazing. I saw if that actually happens. And one of my favorite shit that like I said in the beginning of the episode, we actually got freaking Thanos helicopter. Like that is freaking wild. Like I didn't really expect to ever see that. Like that was a meme in the comics. Like why would Thanos need a helicopter? What for? Why would this big ass dude need a helicopter? But it became a meme, and we actually got it in the live action. And like so that means in some type of timeline, Thanos actually rode that helicopter. What I've actually like to see? Hell yes, I would actually like to see that. So those type of things was amazing. And like I also mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, Yellow Jacket, big head, like that came out of nowhere. So I'm curious to know, like, what did Hank Pym, first student, had to do to go from Giant Man for Yellow Jacket? Like that's amazing. Or maybe was that actually the original Hank Pym that in the other timeline became the Yellow Jacket because he became Psycho in the version of the comics and used to beat up the wife. So it's like this is amazing because for people who don't know, the original Yellow Jacket was Hank Pym in the comics, and he was a bad guy because he just became psychotic and everything. And for people who don't know, that we spoke about it on the animated podcast or thing on Villains or Roger, Hank Pym used to beat up his wife and everything. So this type of timeline, I just love to see like those little type of Easter eggs is amazing.
Yeah, man. Like you guys brought up some great ones. I'm actually glad that you guys didn't mention any of the ones that I was going to mention because we're going to get really fucking sweaty in this shit. So you can see the Sanctum Sanctorum from Doctor Strange. In one of the first shots, one of the first shots pulling in, you can see the Sanctum Sanctorum. The Lokis walk past like this really old rocket. It's actually Red Skull's rocket from Captain America: The First Avenger. You can tell from its design. I thought that was really fucking dope.
Nice one.
You can also see the Dark Aster, which is Ronan's ship, off into the distance when they first show up
I saw it.
to see Alioth. That was fucking dope. You can also see one of the Project Insight helicarriers that actually has the Hydra logo sprayed on top of it. So if you haven't seen that, go see it. It's actually really fucking sick. We got to see
that one. Did not notice.
We got to see a statued head of the Living Tribunal. This is the second reference to the Living Tribunal that the MCU has done. The first one that we saw was in Doctor Strange with Mordo having the staff of the Living Tribunal. So that was fucking dope. And the Lighthouse of Alexandria, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world, that was dope. We got to see the pyramids of Giza, the Sphinx that actually has its nose still attached to it. So I'm wondering, like, what happened with that Nexus event.
Tell them about that Sphinx. Hold on.
Oh yeah. So the pyramids of Giza, the Sphinx, and a couple other things that show up in this void are a part of Chronopolis, which belongs to Kang, bro. There's so many things that lead to Kang, bro.
Keep in mind,
the Kang
travels in the Sphinx. He travels in the Sphinx, and so it's possible. Not saying it is. It's possible, and this might be his shit. Just broke it down. Just saying.
And also, there's also like bones of like these like there's just like giant bones on the graveyard. I think those are Chitauri worms. I could be wrong. I have nothing to base that on. But the way that they look, they kind of look like the Chitauri worms. But someone smarter will tell me if I'm correct. But the Kang Easter eggs, man. The Kang Enterprises, Renslayer, Alioth, the color scheme of so many different things from this episode. Chronopolis, Immortus. There's so many things that lead to Kang, but is it, right? So let's